Welcome back to Market Headlines. People's purchasing power is still weak as the result of the pandemic, and therefore government gives many stimulus and incentives to people so that the purchasing power can be boosted up. But however, Economic Observer finds that there are flaws that cover the National Economic Recovery Program. A year after the COVID-19 pandemic, Indonesia is still struggling in accelerating national economic recovery. Economic Observer at Core Indonesia, Muhammad Faisal, appreciates a number of government steps in dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, although there are a number of improvements that must be made quickly to maintain the people's purchasing power, especially the speed and accuracy of the distributions of the assistance.
Dalam PEN itu sudah relatif luas, ya, sudah cukup luas, dan mulai dari upaya untuk memperbaiki dari sisi demand, termasuk juga menjaga daya beli masyarakat, sampai kepada penanganan dari sisi kesehatan, ya. Namun kita tahu bahwa dalam implementasinya memang masih banyak yang harus diperbaiki, masih banyak kelemahan yang harus diperbaiki, ya. Satu misalnya dari sisi kecepatan distribusi bantuan, ya. Lalu yang kedua juga permasalahan ketepatan sasaran gitu ya, di beberapa program terutama yang menyasar kepada kalangan bawah, ya, termasuk mereka yang terdampak pandemi dan kehilangan.
Never underestimate the power of people's purchasing power. Let's break down Indonesia's economic compositions. So domestic consumption's contributions reach 59% of the GDP, and the government spending in 2020 was only 9.92% of the GDP, and investment only 31.73%, while export and import contributed 17.7%. So a large portion belongs to domestic consumptions, and that's why people's purchasing power is really important. It can save the economy, but the question is, how's the conditions of people's purchasing power in Indonesia? We can assess that through Indonesia's Consumer Price Index, and therefore let's take a look in the next graphic. Through the next graphic, we can see Indonesia's Consumer Price Index within month-to-month realizations. In the December 2020, we can see that the number is the highest among all by 0.45%, but however, it declined to be 0.26% in January 2021, and it weaker again by 0.1%. Here by the latest data in February 2021. Even the head of the Statistic Indonesia, Suharyanto, said that people's purchasing power in early 2021 was still influenced by the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the economy. This pandemic has caused people's mobility to decrease, economy goes stagnant, income has also decreased, and revenue have become weak. In short, inflation in February 2021 was 0.1%. And a number lower than the previous month's inflations of a 0.26% month-on-month. This inflation rate that was lower than the previous month and the same month in previous year means that domestic demand is still weak. And BPS also monitored cities that contribute more on Indonesia's Consumer Price Index. So let's see through the next graphic. Through the next graphic, we can see that some cities that contribute the Indonesia's Consumer Price Index. First of all, we can see the highest inflations goes to Mamuju by 1.12% inflations among other 56 cities that experience inflations. However, when we talk about the highest deflations in here, we got Gunung Sitoli in North Sumatra by deflations of 1.55%, which in the 34 cities, there are deflations. Why is it Mamuju? It's because the earthquake that occurred in Mamuju and Majene, West Sulawesi earlier this year made Mamuju city record the highest inflation rate in Indonesia. Also, inflation in Mamuju city has been driven by fish commodities price hike. Moreover, we also know that fish is a staple food and that's often consumed by the local people there. And while the highest deflation occurred in Gunung Sitoli, as mentioned before, by 1.55 month-on-month, month. And deflation is in the city because a decline in several commodities such as red chilies, fish, and also chicken meat. Well, of the 90 cities monitored by BPS, 56 cities experience inflations. But then, what has made inflation in Indonesia? Here it is in the next graphic. There are several major contributors on the current inflations. Through our screen, we can see what are the contributors of Indonesia's consumer price index. First of all, we can take a look at the household sector that is contributed by increase in wage of the household assistants. And moving on to the second sector, which is the food sector. It has supported by the decreasing chicken and egg price and also with the increasing fish meat price. And when we talk about the third sector is that the transportations, which is the increase of toll road rate in the 6 provinces and also the increase in the flight price ticket. And the Ministry of the Public Works and Public Housing has issued a ministerial decree regarding the tariff adjustment for each of the toll roads above since 2020. Starting from January 17, 2021, there has been a hike in several toll roads, so the average increase in February was higher. And therefore, toll road tariff increase contributes to transportation sector inflations of 0.04%. And still from the transportation side, there is a hike in flight ticket price as well as contribute largest to the total inflation. And speaking of which, other than consumer price index, there's an index that can measure the people's demand or purchasing power. It is the PMI index. So the PMI measures that the activity level of purchasing managers in the manufacturing sector. Bigger number means that our manufacturing activity is more hectic. It means that more people can afford things, so that manufacturing industry proceeds to supply the goods. So let's see Indonesia's manufacturing PMI through the next graphic. Through the next graphic, we can see Indonesia's manufacturing PMI. So by the recent data, we can see that in January 2021, the number is still good, above a 50, which is a 52.4, and the index moving slower in the February 2021 by recorded data by 50.9. And the index is still good because it's still above 50, but then recent data shows that the pressure on the purchasing power remains strong as indicated by the contractions in the retail sales figure. In addition, decline in core inflation confirms that the purchasing power is still relatively weak. Mirae Asset Securitas economist Anthony Kevin said that the manufacturing PMI level, which is still at the expansive level, clearly brings a good news because the manufacturing industry contributes around 20% of the national GDP figure in 2020. And back again, the key is COVID-19 handling. Let's imagine the worst case scenario. If the number of new cases increase rapidly in the coming days, social restrictions will be put in place, which in turn can disrupt the supply chains. It means that people's purchasing power can be weaker. And yes, viewers, we hope that the government can put more efforts to increase demand again, increase people's purchasing power, and boost household consumption's performance so that economic recovery can be achieved and we may get out this pandemic as soon as possible. And yes, stay tuned on Market Headlines because we will be right back after this quick break.